Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about, so you've completed 100 deals. Now what? Incidentally, that's the name of the theme this week. So you've completed 100 deals. The heck do you do now? Well, first of all, congratulations. I know exactly what it feels like to complete 100 deals.
I know what I would tell people to do. This ties into something cool, by the way.
Incidentally, next week is so you've completed 1,000 deals. Now what? That's the theme for next week. But back to 100 deals. How much money should you have if you've completed like 100 deals, Joe?
Oh my gosh.
Let's say you make $2,000 per deal.
Don't ask me to do the math.
It's $200,000.
Okay.
You should have $250,000 in the bank if you've done 100 deals.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, but I look at it like 2 becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16. I look at it that way. So you could have even more.
Some of our members refuse to do a real estate acquisition unless they make $10,000 a deal.
I have 2 members. Well, actually, it's part these 2 gentlemen on our members. It's part of a team of 3 people working together, and they just shared with me in 1 year with us, they are in the millions with an S, not just one,
right.
More than one.
Right. And
it was really cool. I had a call with them the other day. What I want to say is this ties in perfectly with what we have coming up. We are, for the first time ever, going live. And for people who have completed more than 10 deals even, let's even just say that. You're in it. You're growing your business, because a lot of what we're going to talk about today is tied into the content for our intermediates live session. So can I explain it? Okay, so here's what's going on. We are going live. So if you go to landinvestorslive.com, you will find details for a September 21 through 23rd event. And also, and that's for beginners, new people to Land Academy, or brand new to this, just someone who's never done this before, and you've been thinking about it, you want to be a member, you want to do this stuff, you can go right there, check out, and not only get the program and all that good stuff, but there's a live event where we're going to be doing it in person. So that's the first event. But where it ties into this show today is we decided last minute to go ahead and schedule an intermediate event too for all of our members that have been cruising along. They're doing deals. They need some help taking it to the next level.
Right.
So that's kind of what this week's about too, taking it to that next level. Yeah. So things that we're going to talk about at that second event, it's October 5th through 7th. Is the event, and they're here it's in Los Angeles County. Well, it's Hermosa Beach, but here in Los Angeles, you'll see it all on the website. Real close to the airport,
close to LAX.
7 miles south of LAX is where it is. So super easy to take a $20 Uber and get there.
This is our first live event. The truth is, I fought it for years.
I know, and our members have been asking for years.
And I finally lost a battle with Jill.
Not with me. It was like with our members. We have to do this. Everybody's really been wanting it, and I'll tell you, it's going to be so darn cool, because it's going to be you and me and a few other guest things that you're still working out for the second event, and it's 40 people. That's it. That's the cap. So it's going to go fast.
Yeah, I mean, we're half? You announced it on Friday, which a few days ago, and I think we're half,
Thursday.
Just about full. I mean, we're half full.
We're doing just great.
I expect it to sell out this week.
So yeah, it's going great. I know people are still looking at their calendars and working out their days off to do it, because it's all day Friday, all day Saturday, half day Sunday, but it's going to be cool. But so for the intermediate event, it is going to be stuff like today, and I guess I'll save it for the show.
Yeah. When you like a musician, do you like the studio records that they put out, or do you like the live music? Do you like them in person? I'm a total studio person. I think
like
you're
both.
live. Yeah?
Yeah, you know what? And our members, I think, are both. There's some that are like, nope, don't need to see. I got enough Jack and Jill and Steve and Jill in my life.
Exactly.
So, no, don't need to get that
I watched you for 10 hours one time on the program, and that's about it for me.
I'm still having nightmares over Chapter 5.
I had nightmares doing Chapter 5.
Right. Exactly.
Before we get into the topic, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landacademy.com online community. It's free.
Mike asks, what have you pros experiences have been with cash sales versus term sales? Does anyone have any tips on how to transition from being a term seller to end users to more of a wholesale cash seller? Or alternatively, has anyone had any experience in selling notes? Since I get such a good interest rate on these land contracts, I've wondered if investors may be interested in buying them, but I have no idea how to do that or where to start. Any advice would be greatly appreciated.
Good. We're going to answer the question right now, but if you go to the Land Academy community and just keyword search Mike's question here, there's lots of other people that are members have piped in and answered the question. So we all have a different, everybody's got a lot to say about it.
Which is cool.
If you listen to the show at all, you know that Jill and I are cash sellers primarily. We used to be term sellers.
I know, we are now.
And now it's all cash because we would rather sell it cheaper, faster.
Mm-hmm. And build up a bigger bank balance.
Yeah.
And do other things with that.
And so, term sales are much harder to manage and throughout the life of the loan than cash. So to answer your question directly, transitioning from a term seller to a cash seller is way the heck easier than doing it the other way. If you're used to cash sales and you go to term sales, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. But I will say this, there are different property types. You want to sell really high quality property on terms, and you want to sell lesser quality property, maybe with access issues or in a lesser desirable area for cash, and just kind of get it out of your life.
I had noticed, because I was reading more in this thread, Mike weighed in a few little things, that what he found was why he's gotten himself in this situation is because it's been a piece of cake for him when he puts things out there for cash to say, you know what, it's not selling fast enough. If I make it a term sale, people jump on it right away.
That's perfect.
So that's, I think, what's been going on. He's like, and so I totally get it and I love it. Mike's like, I'm just going to be greedy. You know what I mean? Sell it. Do I want to wait? Do I want to wait 2 weeks for the cash buyer, or do I want to sell it right now to a terms person, and then I can call it done and start making money on it?
Right.
Which is, it's kind of just personal preference, because when you do end up the money and the very end of the day, gosh, what you pocket on these term sales is insane.
Yeah.
You really do make more money that way, dollar wise, but it's how do you want to, structure your business and what do you want to do?
Right. And then the second part of the question, he says, does anybody have an experience selling notes? What he means is you take a 40-acre property, you buy it for $4 or $5 or $8,000, and you sell it for $20,000, $500 down, and $200 a month for a lot of years, just like a mortgage. After the note gets seasoned, the loan that you just created, you're the bank. You can sell that note at a discounted rate and turn over that monthly income to somebody who buys it from you. And yes, I've done that many times. There's many people. There's a website called Note MLS, I think it's called, or if you just Google that, there's lots of people that have a lot of properties and notes, and you can sell a note on a car, you can sell a note on a house. It doesn't have to be asset based. There are people who sell notes for personal loans, so it's a good racket. Buying notes, and we don't talk about it ever, and I don't know why, but buying notes. On the flip side, if you buy a note on real estate and it's defaults, you get to buy the real estate for half. It's a great business. Some people, that's their whole business. They buy defaulted notes on houses and stuff. I asked a real experienced note guy one time, why do you buy defaulted notes? And he said, I'll tell you, because the vast majority of the time, the owner's in the house, you buy a note for like half of what the house is worth, and you call the guy and say, look, you need to start paying or you need to get out. And he said 9 times out of 10, they just say, tell me where to send the check. They just literally didn't have any contact.
Right.
It's usually, something simple like that.
Right.
Today's topic, so you've completed 100 deals. Now what? This is the meat of the show. Jill, you have a lot to say about this, don't you?
Well, I was thinking about, a lot of this, the things you need to think about here are some of the things that we're going to talk about in great detail in person at our second live event. things like budgeting, things like automating, getting your mail, your mailing efforts into a machine, basically, automating that. Growing your business. What do you need to, maybe getting an LLC at this point.
All of that.
Upping your website game. Now you're not just a landing page. Do you have a real good selling site? What else?
Are you mechanizing everything? So you should be asking yourself this question after 100 deals, probably way before 100 deals, after maybe 20 or 30. You should be asking yourself, what's the secret? What's the secret here? Why am I good at this? And your answer is going to be some version of this. I'm really good at buying real estate. Mm-hmm. Not good at selling it. You don't need to be good at selling it. It sells itself when you buy it right.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is remove yourself entirely from actually working in your own company and just be an acquisitions expert.
And don't do it by pawning it off on your significant other.
It sounds like you have some experience in that.
Oh, no. Just throwing it out there.
One time I was scheming with
Scheming is
somebody,
right.
and Jill's just looking at me like, just go ahead and finish your thought because it's all going to fall on me anyway.
Totally. Here it comes. It's okay. Don't hold back.
I'm probably going to start another company this weekend.
What are we doing? Yeah, go ahead and bring it. Don't hold back. I'd rather know now than be surprised later.
How bad is it really?
Oh, I can't answer that question. I don't want to throw you under the bus.
Go ahead.
No.
Even now where we are in our careers, some of the stuff that we start doesn't work. That's just the way it is. Some companies really work well. Like Offers to Owners is dreamy. Mm-hmm. It's a great company for everybody.
I gotta say that honestly,
Title Mine, disaster. Go ahead.
Well, I think it could work. We just don't have the stomach for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a tough product, and it's a tough thing, and I just don't want to do it.
Right.
That's what happens. It's it's like in our business. You find a product that sings to you. You might branch it. Here's a good example. You start buying and selling land, and there's always going to be deals that come to you that are just deed nightmares. Someone's not alive anymore. They moved away. We don't even know what this is going on over here. Those kind of situations. So you start cherry picking. And picking the good ones, which you should. So we cherry pick our businesses, I think, is kind of where I'm going. I feel like, what? That one's too hard. I don't want to do it.
It's too hard.
It's just too hard.
It's not that it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
That's it.
We are two people with staff, and there's only so much stuff we can do. Mm-hmm. So we might as well make it good. That's what I say.
Exactly. And I really want to pick, like these property deals, I just want to pick the ones that with the high turn, the high return. That's it.
Yep.
I'm not messing around here. I'm here to get wealthy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Such the right girl for me.
Thank you.
I'm here to get wealthy too.
I'm not here to hold Mrs. Smith's hand and meet her and show her the trees and help her think about what direction she'd like the porch to face. You know what I mean?
I'm not here to answer questions that buyers have about real estate.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
What else aren't you here for?
Oh my gosh.
I refuse to do that.
Diaper changes.
Yeah.
That's explain that one.
Yeah, when people, my mouse doesn't work. That's a diaper change.
Or even like when people, honestly, it's like when people are calling in, if they call in and say, so what taxes are they? That page you're on?
Taxes.
Scroll down, please.
Right.
It's
a lot
right
of tax
there.
questions constantly.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. My favorite too is, how long can I leave my RV there? Oh boy.
Yeah. So if you've completed 100 deals, you've worked all this by now.
You've had all these calls.
You've had your FAQ is jammed up on your website.
And you know what a tire kicker is, and who's a real buyer.
Right. So the whole point of the show is get rid of all that stuff. You may have to, depending on how you operate, find staff to do it or outsource it overseas maybe. We do some version of all this. But you do not want, I'll tell you right now, you have to figure out how to stay off the phone. Because when a deal machine like this, the phone will destroy your business, in my opinion.
If you're the only person, I totally agree with that. You can't be the one person that does the answers of phones, because now you're limited to what you can do in one day.
If you've completed 100 deals, you figured out that you have to accept credit cards online.
Yeah.
The ideal. So
Good
you have
point.
to, in your head, to replicate the perfect real estate deal. So in my mind, the perfect real estate deal is you send a bunch of letters out, somebody signs it, and they mail it back, or they take a picture of it and send it to you, email it to you. And then at that moment, you schedule the closing right there. With the person. You pick up the phone, or somebody who works for you picks up the phone, and you schedule the closing and send them all the documents that minute. Maybe even email them and send a notary over to their house. They sign it, send a cashier's check with it. The acquisition's done, and in a perfect world, while this is all happening, you're posting it for sale everywhere simultaneously, even before you own it. And it sells. And you're driving all your traffic back wherever you post it online, back to your website. Somebody sees it on Facebook, let's say. They go to your website and they put their credit card number in, and they're the new owner.
Right. Not necessarily before you own it, but before it comes, because one minute it's signed, you own it technically. But so that's, I think, what Steven means. Once it's signed and you see it coming back to you from the notary, now you can post it for sale. Have at it.
So you've had exactly one conversation with the seller and 0 conversations with the buyer. And now you're sending out deed information for the new buyer.
That's the perfect
thing. And that's
thing.
it. That's what you should be shooting for.
Right.
And ideally, I mean, where we are now, I don't ever talk to anybody. And I don't think you do anymore.
Well, I am a little bit right now because I'm doing a little temperature check and setting up scripts and things for my team for House Academy. So that's why. So I'm involved in the House Academy calls, which I like. I like this stuff. This is the hard part too, you guys.
Buying houses is fun.
It's fun. I like all this stuff. I hate to say it, especially I love buyers are not so fun. Buyers are kind of buyers are a whole different category. They're not as exciting to talk to. The sellers I have a good time talking to.
When you get those, because you've done 100 deals now, you know that feeling. You know where the euphoria is. And for me, it's when I get a signed offer back. I go to ParcelFact, if it's a piece of land, parcelfact.com, and I look it up immediately. I slap in the APN, the assessor's parcel number, and I look at it. And within seconds, I know exactly how much we're going to make 10, 20, 30, 40,000 bucks on it.
Right.
Or we're not going to buy it. That's the euphoric moment for me. And then my involvement stops. In fact, I don't even usually do that.
Right.
And then turning it into cash is easy.
Yep.
You have complete control over what you pay for real estate.
Exactly.
There are people sitting around going, oh my gosh, this is a terrible real estate market. What's going to happen? You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Isn't that funny?
You put yourself in this position. If you paid too much for real estate, I see it all the time with newlyweds
true.
and
It's
stuff.
not selling.
You paid too much for the real estate and you signed a terrible mortgage.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's the thing. Can't undo that, unfortunately.
Jill and I run around the office celebrating on this stuff.
Yeah.
Or we don't buy it.
Right.
You know, I'm either jumping up and down or we're saying no.
That's an interesting point too. I know, and you've done this by 100 deals now. You've done this. You've had people call back, and you've had to politely let them down, and that's okay.
Or push them off to like you run out of money. Usually, you should be running out of money every month. Even we run out of money once in a while because we buy so much real estate. So you gotta, I call it playing the balance sheet game. You have to manage money. At any given point, you have a bunch of cash and you have a bunch of real estate. In a perfect world, it's free and clear. In a perfect world, you would never theoretically own any real estate. You would buy it and sell it so fast that you own it for a minute.
Exactly.
And that's what we shoot for. But you've already done 100 deals. You know all this stuff. Well, you spent another almost 20 minutes listening to us, and if you've done 100 deals, you probably got interrupted 6 times during this podcast.
Hopefully you did.
Yeah. Buying property.
There you go.
Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode where we discuss leave your job when your job actually starts costing you money.
And we answer your questions posted on our free online community. You can find it off of landacademy.com or go straight there. It's landinvestors.com.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. You know, it's fun talking about this stuff, Jill.
What?
100 deals?
Oh, I know.
That's a bunch of dough.
Yeah.
We've got a few people in our group. Jill mentioned some earlier, but we've got a few people that maybe will never do 100 deals because the deals that they do, they make $1 million per deal.
Right.
One member specifically does 1 or 2 deals a year, tries to make $100,000 on it. That's it.
That's all she wants to do.
Right.
Exactly. Share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you're listening. And while you're at it, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.